Hello and welcome to the Skeptical Scotsman. Let's see. Is this thing picking up my voice? Yes, it is. Okay. Just wondered. Okay. Skeptical Scotsman here. I am going to be talking about Charlie Kirk. So, pull up a chair, pop a top, uncork something. If you don't drink some water. Got that here too. Um, yeah. Let's see here. Where do I start? Charlie Kirk. First thoughts on that are fuck you, ding dong, the bastard's dead. Am I going to laugh and cheer about it? Nah, no need to. I've had in the past 24 hours had to delete most of the people with my last name because I didn't cry at Charlie Kirk's death. And by the way, if you didn't know, he was killed while doing a rally Q&A style thing where he was taking questions from Democrats and purely telling them to go to hell if they don't believe exactly what he does, then they're not right. So it wasn't a debate because the debate depends on open-minded listening, and he was, well, I'm right, you're wrong, and because I believe in the Bible, I'm always right. I say fuck you. I was going to have Bob on this episode, but it appears that he has gone Mexican goose fucking or something. But yeah, we're about to go in the 10 o'clock hour. Or it's literally about to be 10 o'clock. I was checking to see if he'd picked up, but apparently he's not going to. But yeah, if anybody's watching this, which I doubt because it would have shown up here. If you want to join, feel free. I'm sending a copy of this to the comments in case somebody feels like joining me while I'm on live. Now, I was just on TikTok, and honestly, I'm shocked because I went off not near as much as I wanted to. But to get down to the issue, we are talking about Charlie Clark and political violence. Charlie Clark proselytized. He preached about violent memes. Yes, he talked about it quite liberally, if you'll excuse the pun. He was racist, misogynistic, sexist, and a Christo-fascist. He believed that if you weren't in his mind, if you weren't a Christian, then you weren't right, period. And if you weren't a white Christian, you definitely weren't. And he hated gay people. He condemned them. He wanted to stone and murder trans people. He openly admits that. And yet, all of the relatives who share my last name, or most of them, are all, you should be mourning his death. Fuck mourning him. The only person I feel slightly bad for is his child. Growing up without knowing him. I mean, from my perspective, that's an advantage, not a disadvantage. But a child without her father. is a bad thing. And I keep getting notifications about shit I don't care about right at the moment. Now, for everybody saying we need to tone down, cool down, man, fuck you. I'm sorry. Have you watched the right wingers? I watched several videos of right wingers who are like, well, Trump better give us the okay to go after you. Otherwise, we're going to do it our way. We're going to eliminate all of you liberals, all of you left wingers. I'm like, nobody on the left killed Charlie Kirk. Even now, misinformation may be leaking into what we know about the murderer. And yes, I will say he murdered Charlie Clark, 22-year-old dipshit. He didn't like Christo-fascism either, just like I don't. The difference is I'm not going to, unless it was like Trump openly declaring martial law and he was going to be a dictator for life, then I might resort to assassination. Other than that, our system needs to work like it was fucking designed to work. Not just work hoping to God that our people do the right thing. They're supposed to do the right thing. That's the fucking reason they're in office. And if you don't believe in that, I don't know what to tell you. But quite literally, it's bad because all these people saying violence only begets violence. Tell that to the people of Hiroshima. What would they say about violence? Oh, it worked. They surrendered. Violence doesn't work. Okay, then explain World War II and World War One. Violence started and ended something there. Charlie Kirk advocated for people dying so that every year, so that we can maintain our God-given Second Amendment right. God didn't give you any fucking thing except a body, a brain which you refuse to use properly, and the air in your lungs. He gave you life. If you want to say that God does that, He gave you life. That's what God-given is. Man invented guns, you dumb-ass motherfuckers. Is it my God-given right to be able to keep what I build? I think so. I've invented a fucking woodworking table. Literally, the first of its kind. Not the only one of its kinds. It's the only one of its kind so far, but I plan on building a slightly bigger version of it so I can do woodworking. But, yeah, all these people are saying on Facebook that if you are celebrating his death, unfriend me. If you're celebrating his views, unfriend me, motherfucker. I'm sorry, but I have critical thinking skills, you stupid fuck stick mouth breathing inbred bitches. I don't care if you like my opinions or not. My opinions are my fucking opinions. Doesn't matter what you think. I'm allowed to have them. And yes, I'm going to call Charlie Kirk a piece of shit. Did he deserve to die? In my opinion, yes, he did. He was literally a precursor to the next to what Hitler could have been. He's a Christo-fascist asshat. And yeah, quite frankly, I'm tired of getting online and hearing the right wingers say, well, it's open season on you leftists now. You better fucking watch it because you just took the gloves off. Because you guys have been doing all the violence and we've been silent. When the fuck has the right ever been silent? In fact, if you try to shut a right winger up, they fucking scream that they're being oppressed when they're the oppressors. As long as it gives them the feel goods, they're okay with it. Doesn't matter if it's bad, legal, or anything else. I mean, so far, most of the Christian Southern base is, you shouldn't celebrate Charlie Kirk's death. Well, I'm not fucking pulling out party poppers. lighting off fireworks and fucking shouting through the streets, singing while dancing naked in the street, singing "Hallelujah, ding dong, the bastard's dead." I'm not doing that, so I'm obviously not celebrating his death. Am I even mildly touched by his death? Fuck no. I could give a shit less about his death. His death was his death wasn't a this crying party where people, oh, he was a good man and a good Christian. Where in the fuck in the Bible does it say you're allowed to treat people like a piece of shit? You're allowed to diss everybody who doesn't look and sound and think like you. Where does it say that in the Bible? Oh, wait. Wow. The silence is deafening. Now, now that we have that covered, oh, I know I'm allowed to say whatever I please. The bitch of it is I don't say inflammatory. I don't say inflammatory things to agitate everybody, and I don't go out of my way to do it. He never said any. What did Charlie Kirk never say? What did Charlie Kirk never say? I've watched his podcasts. I've watched the full thing, not just snippets that you're seeing on TikTok all the time. I've watched ones that are over an hour long where all he does is fucking blast. And just in case you want to spell my name right, it's Carl with a C, not Carl with a K. It's the anglicized version of Carl, not the German, even though I am German. Thank you. At least you spelled my name. That much I can. You can call me a piece of shit all you want, just spell my name right. Because honestly, I don't care if anybody calls me a piece. I've been called every single name in the book. And yeah, I've been called stuff you ain't even thought of. So now, you said he never said, you said that Charlie Rose, or not Charlie Rose, but Charlie Kirk never said certain things. What are you saying he didn't say? Because I literally only repeat what I'm only been repeating what he said in summation. Like everybody right now is looking at clips of him saying blah 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 blah, and it's really literal just cut up chunks. I've watched his entire spiel. I've watched him do the show, named several groups. I named several groups, and yes, he did bash. He bashed gay people. He bashes trans people. He bashes black people. He bashes women. I've watched him do this. Not little tiny clips. We're talking fucking like 15-minute long clips of him doing just that. It's not hyperbole. It's not me building it up. I've watched these clips. I've been watching him on and off since like 2019. And yes, what he says is inflammatory. It's like listening to some asshat Republican tell me that January 6th was a tour guide. It was a group of guided tourists. No, it wasn't. I watched it on live TV. If you can't say that it wasn't, if you can't say it was an insurrection, one example, one quote: black people are inherently more violent than white people. Direct fucking quote. Women are now more narcissistic due to the women's freedom movement than any other time in human history. Trans people should be stoned to death in the street in front of the crowd by everybody else surrounding them. Gay people need to go to gay conversion camps and get corrected. You want any more examples? Those are actual direct quotes from him. He wasn't citing statistics. Making statistics up to sound better, yes, but no. Everything I'm telling you, he actually said. There was no misquote to it. Stephen King is a high value public figure. I am a low end public figure. I don't care. No, I'm not saying weird things. You can ask Robert. Robert's heard him say that shit too. I'm not just saying weird things. That's why I told everybody who on my Facebook who was telling everybody that if they were celebrating Charlie Kirk's death to erase themselves from their Facebook. If you're okay with what Charlie Kirk was saying, get the fuck off of mine. You can call bullshit all you want. I literally am directly quoting Charlie Kirk. You don't have to like it. In fact, I know a lot of people who don't like it. I don't give a shit. I literally just directly quoted him. Those are all quotes of his. Yeah, you don't have to like what I say. I tell everybody that. You don't have to like what I say because most people don't. And I don't care if they don't like it. But I'm not inciting violence. I'm not advocating for you to go out and beat the shit out of somebody you don't agree with. I'm not inciting that. He actually incited that. And if you don't agree with that, well, then you're drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm only espousing the truth. I'm not like every time he had a debate with somebody on several of these programs, it was, I'm right, you're wrong, that's the end of it. It's, if you don't believe in my God, my way, and celebrate it my way, and believe in that utterly and totally, you're wrong. That's not a debate. That's them asking you a question, and then you saying, I'm right, you're wrong, I don't care what you say, because if you don't believe this exactly the way I do, you're not right. That's not a debate. I can't see what the hell that emoji is. But yeah, I literally I've watched a lot of clips from people trying to put compilations together of Charlie Kirk saying atrocious things. They're showing a clip of something he said directly. I have watched the entire clip. I have watched him literally confront a trans person, and at the end, he said the trans person, he said, "You don't deserve to live. You're trans. You're not like me, and you're not Christian. You don't deserve to live. Goodbye." And he wasn't debating. He was literally just spewing vitriol on the trans person. Oh, I'm sure I'm entertaining to listen to. You could talk to me in real time. The problem is when that would happen, because unfortunately, almost everybody I know works second or third shift. I'm a first shifter. Charlie Kirk did inspire people. He inspired the wrong kind of conversation, in my opinion. And as far as being a creation of God, if you're going to believe in that theory, and I mean really believe that God doesn't make mistakes, then there are trans people that exist. There are gay people that exist. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter if you don't like them. They have the right to exist too. But saying they should be stoned to death because they go against some archaic belief that you're holding, that your pastor taught you from the Bible as a corrupt teaching, that doesn't, yeah, no. I don't think anybody in Discord knew about it far enough ahead to do anything about it. And didn't Christ talk about loving thy neighbor? Aren't there a lot of aren't there a lot of good things talked about in the Bible? Serving, volunteering to help the poor, uh, showing respect to your elders, stuff like that. They all knew who he was. He was relatively unknown on Discord. Nobody was scared after they shot him. Are we talking about Charlie Clark or Charlie Kirk? If we're talking about Charlie Kirk, you obviously haven't seen the actual videos of what happened right after um, he got shot. That place looked like a bunch of scattering white cockroaches. I'm not talking about the race of the people. I'm talking about everybody wearing white shirts. They scattered like cockroaches. Uh, so you're saying they didn't run? No, they ran. Nobody was scared after they shot him. They rushed the stage and stole all of his merch. I don't know where you saw that one at, like at all. But I saw the video of right after the shot. I actually got to see the video of the moment he was shot. Like it's not that hard to find, or at least it wasn't. But people weren't rushing the stage to steal merch, as far as I could tell. But then again, most of uh, the video of him being shot, it's only a few seconds long. The other videos of everybody scattering around like roaches. Cash Patel said there were 11,000 leads. Cash Patel also claimed right after the shooting, like moments after they captured the shooter, the alleged shooter that they got, they released because they found out he didn't do that. Where where are you watching these videos at? If I might ask, Swamp Rose, because I have not seen anybody cheering right after he got shot and they realize he's a dead man. I don't know what video you're watching. I heard screams and shrieks. I didn't hear cheering. So I don't know what you're talking about, but I have seen a subtle video where people were standing right next to Charlie Clark, within 10 foot of him, and giving some weird signal, and all of a sudden his neck gets blown the fuck out. That looks a little suspicious. I'm not saying I'm a conspiracy theorist and going to buy that yet. Everybody is saying they feel for his wife and kids. I'm only feeling sorry for the kids, and that's only slightly because they should have a father growing up. And I didn't agree with their father because if that's what he's teaching everybody else, God knows what the fuck he's teaching his kids. I if he's teaching his kids the same thing that he was teaching young right wing America to do, then those kids be fucked. Which videos are you talking about? The videos of him being shot or the people running around like cockroaches? Yes, I'm actually asking a question about that because if you're going to ask me to observe and look at some stuff, then I need to know the context of why I'm having to look at them. I'm not saying I won't. Hell, ask Robert if he saw the entire George Floyd video from the entire thing from the moment the recorders started until he was being rushed by ambulance to the hospital, or the Kyle Rittenhouse tape where it shows him shooting a guy in self-defense. Neither. I will help. I have no idea what that means. Like, I literally have no idea what you're talking about. Excuse me. I better turn my shit down here. I don't need mic reverb. That's and now everything's going to act. Maybe I go to my email. I don't know. Oh, okay. Let's see. I'm looking on YouTube to see if you guys have links or anything else up. Because if you guys have a link, if you guys have put up a link, I can't see it. Looking, I gotta wait for this buffering because it slows down while I'm trying to look up the live cast. Oh, I gotta put readers on. God damn it! I'm getting old. Just wait till you have readers, Bob. You'll already got gout half the time. Can't erase your comments for some reason. Erase your comments. What do you mean it won't let you erase the comment? I have no idea what that means. Boom. Anyway. And yes, what I don't get is I've reported several videos. Here's the thing about that. I'm going to put that comment up just for show here. Hold on. Yeah, I watched the clip, and the right is glossing over the fact that the shooter was a registered Republican. It depends on where you're getting your information from. I don't know who said he was a registered Republican. You need to provide a source for that. But according to the White House, Kash Patel, and whatever else they can come up with, they are saying that he was an unaffiliated, inactive voter. who was against Charlie Kirk's Christo-fascist agenda. I've heard that he was a registered Republican. I have not seen proof of that, so I will not say he's a Republican. I've heard from you and a few other people that somebody's claiming he was a registered Republican, but nobody can offer proof of that, so I will not say that. Here's the crazy part. I'll give you that one. Want to erase your comments? Why? Why do you want to erase your comments? Are you ashamed of what you said or something? Or what? I'm not going to go back. Unless you ask me to, I'm not going to go back and look at anything because I try to. The life is for living in the moment. And which comment would you like erased? I'll see if I can erase it for you. Stop getting comment anxiety. Just belt it out. Even if it sounds stupid. Hell, half the time I do that. I end up doing that on TikTok all the time, and I end up getting likes from it a lot. I do that on Instagram, too. I'll throw out a comment. Next thing you know, people are like, well, I'm really... Don't be. Just let it glide. And you're allowed to say I'm wrong. What I won't put up with is you saying that I can't say something because you don't approve of it. If YouTube wants to kick me off for that, I get it, but it doesn't. None of what I'm saying is against their guidelines. Even TikTok, I must have watched a dozen videos. I must have watched at least a dozen videos from right-wing extremists who were, well, now we're going to hunt you down. We're going to hunt you down, leftists, you Democrats, and kill your filthy ass. This is like, wow, you're actually saying you're going to come out and murder other people because you don't like the fact that Charlie Kirk was killed. He was murdered. Robert, where are you hearing your information? But yes, the videos that are where you got extreme right wingers, now it's open season. We're gonna fucking hunt you down and murder you. You don't kill one. It's like the problem with that is most of the mass shootings have been perpetrated by Trump supporters, by registered Republicans. How the fuck does that work? You can't blame Democrats if Republicans are the ones shooting people. His dad, who is a sheriff, and then his dad by calling the FBI. You need to throw out where you got that from. Where are you getting some of this information? Because it does not make any sense at all. And I don't know that I believe Kash Patel, because Kash Patel seems about disqualified for the very position he holds. He seems massively underqualified for it. Swamp Rose, just because he's a director of the FBI doesn't mean shit. He can still be as dumb as a doorbell. Just because he's a billionaire doesn't mean shit. Linda McMahon is the head of the Department of Education. She's actively trying to shut it down. because she's the wife of a billionaire and the co-owner of WWE. What makes him underqualified? Or what makes Cash Patel underqualified? He's never been in securities in his entire life. When Charlie Kirk was murdered, they assumed they had the right guy and pulled him in for questioning for 2 hours and then released him, or released the guy they thought had shot him. He is not a genius. He's a rich idiot. Trump is a rich idiot. Linda McMahon is a rich idiot. Most of the people in positions of power in this administration are rich idiots. They do not have any qualifications for the positions they fucking hold. You can roll your eyes all you want. I don't care. Billionaires who got rich off tech and all kinds of shady business dealings are not smart. That's like when Elon Musk was ripping the fucking government to shreds. Your message is retracted. I don't know which message that was. You need more proof? You think Elon Musk was qualified to gut the federal government as much as he did? He actually cost us more money gutting the government and trying to cut wasteful and fraudulent spending than he did just leaving if he just left the government as it was. This is the bitch of it, and you're probably not going to like this anyway, but I'm going to say it. The problem with the government right now isn't the left or right draining the swamp of one or the other. The problem with the swamp in government, every party thinks the other party needs to be drained completely. No. All the career politicians that have been there more than 10 years need to go. Kash Patel, literally a federal prosecutor. You're entitled to think that. I don't recall him being a federal prosecutor of any great success. You have to stand up for what you believe in. And if the government is oppressing you for standing up for your right to do so in a nonviolent manner, in that case, I think you have to get violent to a certain point physically to let them know they aren't allowed to break the law to keep you under their thumb. I'm not saying murder is the answer. I'm saying physical violence does help at times. We've already talked about Dogecoin. Nobody should be allowed to get violent in any way. Nobody has that right. Okay, what about the Revolutionary War? What about World War I and II? What about Hiroshima? What about, yeah, we could go on and on. Violence has actually solved quite a few things. Congress had to declare war. Really? So us bombing places in the Middle East without congressional approval, and Trump calling that our entry into the war is no never mind to you? The one-on-one stuff. Okay. say you walk in, and I'm only speaking hypothetical, God forbid this ever actually happened. You walk in on some big human turd, like some guy who's fat, oily, greasy, and he has a 7-year-old girl naked in front of him, and he says he's going to have fun with her. You walk in on him saying that, whipping his genitals out. Are you going to let him do something to her, or are you going to knock him the fuck out? It's still violence. He is saying, and he believes his right to have sex with somebody who's underage and do with her what he wants. That's his belief. The little girl is too weak and small to defend herself. And you're so I'm getting the vibe that you're saying that speaking isn't violence. Not so. Want a good example? Hitler and the Nazis in World War II Germany. Violence isn't the answer. It doesn't mean inciting is violence. I think the cops at the Capitol building on January 6th would disagree with you on that one vehemently. So, are we debating that violence in any capacity is unacceptable? Because I've already proven that wrong once, if not twice. You're allowed to go flailing your arms, but until you hit somebody, you're okay. The moment you hit somebody, you're in trouble. So you have a right to defend yourself. You have the right to protect your family. So what were the January 6th insurrectionists doing? Libertarian point of view, you just said. I don't know which comment you're referring to, but I'm an independent. I don't follow any particular set structure for any political party that I'm aware of. I like to think on my own. I like to use my critical uh, I like to use my critical thinking capabilities. That's why when Trump was running for office and holding the rallies and saying the things, I compared him to Hitler because that's exactly who the fuck he sounds like. He sounds like Hitler. In fact, a better part of his speeches that were meant to rally the American people were almost in the English version the exact same as they were the exact words Hitler used. I don't know if I'd call Charlie Charlie Kirk's death the Reichstag fire. I don't know that I would go that far. He seems more of a tipping point like George Floyd was for Black Lives Matter. What's disturbing to me is how many right wingers are, well, this is too much. Now you gotta die. Or expressing that they want to get very violent and start killing anybody who's not Republican. Is my screen freezing? Apparently it is. Because I can't, I'm looking at my phone and it's like all cut up and shit. Again, I wouldn't call it their Reichstag fire. I would call it their George Floyd moment, where they wanted to do something so badly, but don't know what to do, and they get outraged by something that they don't know how to express their own anger. So what do? They go on the defensive and start just blowing everything up. They don't need an excuse. You already have George Floyd died for this when George Floyd was, yeah, that was just stupid. Again, like George Floyd, he was a martyr for the BLM movement, even though he was originally called upon, he was originally arrested for a counterfeit $20 bill, and then he had pills in his mouth and claiming he had COVID and claustrophobia. I mean, the shit just goes on and on. Here's the bad problem with that flip coin, Swamp Rose. I'm going to put that comment up. We can all speak up against political violence because whatever side it happens, I only have to say is that we're not afraid of our government. We're not afraid of our leaders. I'm afraid of what Trump wants to do with this country. Yes, I am deathly fucking afraid of what he wants to do with the country. He's treating it like it's a goddamn regime. I'm not afraid to talk about it. But I'm also not the person in charge of the United States treating it like his own fucking personal plaything. This man has control of Congress, the Senate, the White House, the White House, and the Supreme Court. Like if he decided he was powerful enough, he'd just do away with the Constitution and say, "Fuck y'all, I'm a dictator now. I'm living. I will appoint one of my people as my successor, and this democracy is up. This democratic republic is over. And now it's under my control until one of my people take over, and then they'll pass it on. It'd be like North Korea or some shit. But if you need to go to bed, that's fine by me. I'm okay with that. I can live with that. I mean, I've been on here for an hour. It is going on. It's a quarter till 11 now, at least Central Standard Time, anyway. My problem is my voice isn't heard. Like people hear what I have to say, and I give really good suggestions, and most people agree with my suggestions. Yep. Good night, and nice talking to you. The issue is unless action actually comes from my words, then it counts for nothing. That's the bitch of it. It really is the absolute fucking bitch of it. Sorry, I had to check my. I was trying to check for the messages because they take a second to pop up on here because I am right now seeing StreamYard, not YouTube. Yeah, there's. I've heard quite a few people say that they're stepping away from their political podcasts because all of the right wingers are. Well, I'm tired of being quiet. I'm just going to let. No, you're letting your hate take control. All the people were saying you need to mourn Charlie Kirk's death. You need to do this. You need to do that. No, you need to stop having the feels for a man who was a bigot. He was a lot of negative things. But I haven't heard anything from Farron Cousins. But with the butt hurt going on with the right wingers, I have no doubt. But I'd like to go watch something that isn't my computer screen and maybe an episode of Chopped or some crap. So you guys try to have a great night. Thank you for watching. Thank you for paying attention. And yeah, hopefully I can stay on. It depends on how stupid social media is because they're fucking dumb. They have to follow what they have. They're all afraid of the president, Trump. Stop being afraid. If you're a billionaire, you shouldn't watch that. Oh, don't worry, I'm finna end the live stream anyway. And I can go in later and delete it. All right, guys. You have a wonderful night. Sleep tight. Please get some great sleep and stay thirsty, my friends.